So when you go to the doctors,
Yeah.
and you get a prescription from the doctor, does he tell you the repercussions or the warnings or the
I have yet to meet
side
a
effects?
doctor who would inform you on side effects on medication. I have been on that many different medication. I take a lot of different antidepressants throughout my life,
Yeah.
with a lot of different side effects that the doctor has never told me about. I mean, I've been on some medications that have sent me completely crazy. I've been on medications that killed sex drive. I've been on medications that killed appetite. You know?
Yeah. Have you been on any medications for more than 3 months?
Yeah. I'm on medication at the moment. Have been for the last 12 months. Venlafaxine.
But you know that after 3 months, it becomes addictive.
Yeah. I got to the point now, if I don't take my medication, because it's a high dose of 275 milligram, I get really bad side effects, withdrawal symptoms.
So even when you go to the pharmacy, do they give you any warnings or?
I don't think the pharmacy even knows half of this.
So let's just say you bought a car, brand new car, yeah. And you take the car home, and then the car has some kind of fault wrong with it. What do you do?
Just take it to a garage to get it fixed.
A brand new car that you've just bought from the car lot.
Well, from the car lot, you take it back and tell them to fix
All
it.
right. So now you've done that. Then they've given you the car back now, and after a few days, you've had another problem.
Then you go back and you turn around and say, right, I want a replacement car because this problem keeps happening. I've got another problem. Why haven't you sorted the car properly? If there's so many problems with this car, I want a different one. I don't want to be returning here every other day because my car is breaking down because you can't guarantee it's, worth.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, why would you go back to the doctors after you've been given something and it hasn't worked, but you keep going back to the doctor, but that is your health, and the other one was a car.
You see, when it comes to like me going back for trying different tablets, it's because I'm more concerned about my own mental health. Right now, I've come off my medication. I am still going through the withdrawal from my medication at the moment.
That's
I get. That's
good.
I get like the old shutter cameras.
Yeah.
When they zoomed in, they had that.
Oh yeah.
If I look left to right real quick, or if I glance somewhere real quick, I can feel that sensation. And it feels like that sensation in my eyes. That's one of the withdrawals. I get dizzy spells, I get pins and needles. So my brain chemistry is trying to readjust itself back to getting off those medication. And I've also come to a very painful decision of what I need to do on Monday, which is I am going to have myself sectioned because of my mental health. I need the help.
Don't you think that maybe some of the things that you are already ingesting are contributing to this?
I grew up through domestic violence, physical, sexual, emotional abuse as a child. I went through all of that. So that's always in my head. Now, the medication, all that did was help suppress everything. And if you keep suppressing something long enough, what's going to happen? Because a doctor can only sit there around and say, here, take these.
Yeah.
It'll help. But it doesn't. Because they don't know. They don't know what people are going through
So if
on
they
a day-to-day.
say to you that they're going to be prescribing you some more medication,
I'll turn around and ask them not to because I want to be able to go on with my life without having
let's
to
just
resort
say
to
you're
tablets.
taking these drugs, and because it could be pills, it could be cocaine, it could be whatever. Let's just say you're taking these drugs, and because you're taking these drugs, the effect now, and you've impregnated your girlfriend, your spouse, or whatever, and that child gets the effect of that.
Yeah.
That is part of your DNA. You understand? So what I'm trying to tell you is that it does alter your DNA. You understand? All different types of drugs will alter
Eventually,
your
yeah.
DNA.
I understand it. I mean, every time you take something, it's going to be staying within your body, and then if you have kids, it's going to be passed on to them, and then they're going to take something that's going to mess them up, and then they're going to pass it on to their kids, and it's a vicious circle. We need to look at a new way of dealing with things, like how to prescribe prescriptions. We need to cut out on some of the harmful stuff and start looking at more natural, organic ways of dealing.
So when you go to the doctors,
Yeah.
when they prescribe you any pills or medication,
Yeah.
do they tell you about the side effects or repercussions of those pills?
No, not really. I mean, if you're going to be drowsy or anything like that, I believe a doctor has told me if you're going to take these at a certain time, don't operate heavy machinery. But they've never told me about major side effects or anything like that, or whether it could cause liver problems. I have been told about painkillers before now. If I didn't eat right with them, that it would cause a bleed on my stomach, so I made sure I ate with them. But that was the only side effect I was told about.
All right. So what about when you go to the so like you got the prescription now and you go to the pharmacy?
Yeah.
Do they tell you anything about side effects?
No, do they fuck, bro? They just deal with you and you fuck off. That's real talk, bro. You know what I mean? What I find with the chemist is, I believe for them it's harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it puts them in a position where they want to deal with people and fuck them off.
At the same time.
Especially when it comes to 10 people in a line.
Yeah.
If you've got a queue of people in a line, later towards the day, definitely, they ain't explaining shit, bruv. They passing you your shit, checking your addresses quickly and fucking you off. That's the end all be all. You know what I mean? But people do that. They shouldn't do it where they work. Real talk, they should. If you're going to take something later down the line that may not cause you effect, but for a woman, you know what I mean, that could cause their child to have problems, even though they're not pregnant yet, even. You know, as daft as it is, because it can all have effect. It causes an effect and everything, you know what I mean? You're taking something that's no good for you, or it's one of those, isn't it?
All right, let's do this one. Let's just say you bought a brand new car. Yeah. You've brought the car, you've got the car home now. Day later, it's got like an oil leak or some kind of problem. So what do you do from that point?
Well, if you've brought a brand new car, you take it back to the people that you brought it from.
Correct.
And get them to sort that shit out.
Right. So now they've sorted it out. They've brought it back to you. A week later, you get another problem.
I'd take my car back and tell them I want a different car because this one's bullshit, like, you know what I mean? And to a certain extent, they'd have to abide by that because the car is clearly faulty.
Yeah, exactly. So, by you saying that, how many times have you gone to the doctors, taken pills, it hasn't worked, or may have caused other problems, but gone right back there again?
No, I don't, but I try not to go to the doctors. I try not to take prescription drugs because I know about all the hidden side effects that you wouldn't see unless you were to read up on some of them. Even painkillers are some of the worst ones for addictiveness, and I've seen some of my friends go down that route just through like having like a fractured wrist or something like that, ending up having to take painkillers. Next thing you know, the jittering and everything for them and everything, and drinking with them. And
because I mean, have they ever told you like if you take pharmaceutical drugs for more than 3 months, you could become addicted?
Yeah. Well, no one's told me that. It's something that I generally know through what's going on in the world.
A doctor's never told you.
So I know certain drugs that are addictive. The most addictive ones are out on the streets anyway. So if you're a little bit streetwise like myself, you will know the names and so on and so forth. So if you ever get prescribed it, you'd know whether you'd want to just steer clear of it or just.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Right. When you go to the doctors and they prescribe you something, do they tell you about the side effects?
No, do they fuck?
No.
Don't talk stupid. You wouldn't take him if you read the side effects.
Right. When you go to the pharmacy and you're going to get prescribed, you get your prescription over the counter, do they tell you about the side effects?
No, I asked once and they said, you're best reading the leaflet. If you start getting any sort of side effects, read the leaflet, see if they've got anything to do with the medication you're taking. And that was when I asked about my 6-year-old son's Aiden's, because he's on ADHD medicine.
Oh, man. All right. All right. Let's just say you bought a brand new car, yeah. So you bought a brand new car. You took the car home. and now the car has got some kind of oil leak or something. What do you do?
Well, you take that fucker back, won't you?
Right, so you've taken the car back, they've looked at it, they've sorted out that problem, then you've brought the car back, and like a week later now, there's a different problem.
It's going back again. No, but it's going back.
And then, say like a few days later, now you got another problem with it.
It's going back and I want my money back.
Understandable. Very understandable.
You know what I mean?
So
2 times you can get away with, 3 times someone's taking the piss.
exactly. That's what I say. That is
You know
exactly
what I mean?
what I say.
Mama didn't raise no fool.
So if you're taking pharmaceutical drugs and they prescribe you something and it didn't work the first time and it didn't work the second time, why would you go back to them again for the third time?
I don't. Like, you know, I've got a bad back since I got hit by that car.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctors and all they wanted to do was give me fucking painkiller after painkiller. I smoked weed for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not getting addicted to some opiate.
Understandable.
I mean, I know what that's like. My mum was addicted to fucking painkillers and...
Yeah, because after you take them after 3 months, you can become addicted.
Yeah, mum's been on them for years.
Yeah, that's an addiction. That's, yeah. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Hi, man, another nice day out here in the park. Anyway, we done the interviews. I had a few more interviews, but I didn't want to put too much on there. I think you get the idea of the medication and what doctors, you know, prescribe, and then they don't want to tell you what it's all about, what's inside it, what the side effects may be. Yeah, so as you can see from the video that was done, that a lot of people put their trust in the government and in pharmaceuticals and doctors, and they don't actually know the real facts of what they're taking, because they're not really told. So if you're not told about what you're ingesting from these companies, remember that pharmaceutical companies called the makers of poisons and potions. So taking that in consideration, and to take into consideration that you've got a lot of fast food companies, even your supermarkets, a lot of them pay their money into the health organization just so they can get certain products that they can sell within their company, even though they know that these products will hurt you in some type of way. It could be straight away or it could be long term. See, with the poison that are in some of these products, you don't really know sometimes what is happening to your body because of the trust and the belief of these people are meant to be helping you, and you believe that these people are helping you, but are they really helping you? I mean, what help are they giving you if you have to keep on coming back for the same problem and then develop another problem? Why is your trust in these pharmaceutical companies and doctors and hospitals, and why is your trust in them so deep? Why not seek alternative methods of healing yourself the natural way, knowing that there's alternatives, and I'm one of the alternatives, as you know, the Alkaline-vegan site, where I've prescribed many different things for many different people with many different problems. People with cancer, Alzheimer's, sickle cell, from the herbs that have been given, and by changing your diet. especially changing your diet and the way you foods. I mean, just knowing alone that most of these vegetables and fruits have their own medicine. I went down to the shops, and the guy was coughing a lot. He kept on coughing a lot. I was doing a little job for him. He was coughing a lot, and I told him to just take some pineapple juice, pure pineapple juice. Just drink some of that in the morning, evening, have a little bit at night, and then see how your cough is the next day. It took him 1 day for that cough that was on his chest to disappear, just by having pineapple juice. I mean, some things in life are just so simple, but the belief of chemical compounds that eat away at your insides, chemical compounds that bring down your immune system and make you prone to diseases and infections and bad bacteria and so forth. So I hope this was a good insight, and I hoped that you learned something. And please remember that, you know, these chemical compounds, you know that they're not gonna help you in any type of way except from injure you in the long run. And knowing that herbs is the start of all these chemical compounds that they're using. Remember, I told you that they mimic the herb and make their own compound from it, which is fake, you know? It's like Chinese knockoff. That's what these chemical compounds are. They're just knockoffs. I just want to try and give back what I have learned. I'm just trying to give back for what was taught to me. I'm trying to make you see that life could be much more easier than what you think it is. Life could be way more better for you than what it is now. I mean, if you are suffering from something right now, or you know, you're in some type of depression like you saw from the earlier videos, the choices were you could change your medication. Instead of taking pharmaceutical compounds, you could be taking herbs, something that is more natural, something that is more in tune with your DNA. Now, if it is not in tune with your DNA, why would you be taking it? You know, you came from the earth, so why not use the same things from the earth to make you better? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, you got all these natural things around you that you could use to help you. But I can see that there's a lot of obstructions that people have. The only thing that they advertise is poison. They pay these people. They pay the advertisement, they pay the government, they pay the health organization. They've got billions, so they can do this. They can cover up a lot of stuff. There's many people like me, herbalists, that are out there trying to help other people, giving them the correct herbs for their problems. But the pharmaceutical companies have been killing off a lot of the herbalists that are out here. Like my teacher went to fly from one destination to another destination. He had some money. I think he had about, 20-something thousand pounds on him, going to buy some herbs. He got stopped inside the airport after he declared that he's taking this money to another destination to go get some herbs. They locked him up inside the airport prison. They kept him in there for weeks and said that the judges are on holiday and you can't be seen right now. Knowing that he's not going to be eating none of those type of foods. Knowing that his family came down to give him herbs, water, they didn't allow it. They waited for him to die and then told the family that, yep, he's dead. He died of pneumonia, you know? Tried to make it look like, oh, no matter how great you are, you could die of ammonia. Yeah. Well, if you're stuck inside of a prison cell and the prison cell is damp and you've been in there for a few weeks, you haven't had no food, no water, no nothing, well, you know, no matter how great you are, something's gonna happen to you. And that's real talk. So, if you ever need that help, you just contact me. My details are there. You know they're there. I will help you. If it's a situation where you don't have the money to buy the herbs, that's not a problem. There's many fruits and vegetables and other ways of helping you with many other problems just by buying these natural things from the shop. I can show you concoctions that you can make from the fruits and veggies and certain smoothies that will help you. So you don't need to depend on fake compounds. They've just put a whole load of different things together and then they use you as a test subject. To me, that's just cruelty and abuse. And nobody's really fighting back or saying something about it. Life is easy if you want to make it easy. You know, one person said to me, if something is way too complicated and it hasn't been simplified, this is my law teacher. If it hasn't been simplified and you do not understand it, it's most probably something that's fake or something that you should not invite into your life. Me, I just keep things simple. You keeping it simple, everybody can understand. From the cleverest person to the dumbest person. So, you know, let's just keep it all real.